is a presentation of TNT Sports, where the 16th Olympic Winter Games begin in exactly 1 year.
As Larry Bird goes, so go the Boston Celtics. With Bird sidelined by a back injury, Boston struggled, losing 7 of 15 games. But now, with Larry playing again, the Celtics are on a roll, sweeping through the first 4 games of a tough Western road trip without a loss. Tonight's stop is Arizona, home of the Suns and the incredible Kevin Johnson. Phoenix has become the streak busters of this NBA season. Tonight, they plan to stop another. The beautiful skyline of downtown Phoenix, Arizona in the Valley of the Sun. Hello, everybody. Along with Doug Collins, this is Bob Neal from Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum. The Boston Celtics, with the best record in the East and a 4-game West Coast win streak underway, take on the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix in 3rd place in the very tough Pacific Division. Phoenix just recently beat Los Angeles and San Antonio, then lost at Houston. But Phoenix starting to be known as the Streak Busters, and they'd certainly like to stop this West Coast road trip win streak of Boston. And Doug Collins, Boston is doing more than just winning games on this road. I think they're trying to set a pattern for themselves that could lead to playoff success.
Bob, Boston has one thing in mind right now. Their whole goal is to have the best record in the Eastern Conference, and they're doing everything to try to ensure that. First of all, they go out now, they have their own plane for their travel. They're trying to make it as easy on the players as possible. This trip has put them in a position to do that, winning the first 4 games. They're going to play tonight. They go home, which is actually in Hartford to play a game, then they're out for 3 more. So they had 9 games away from Boston Garden. They have 4 wins in their pocket already. So they're in a position, I think, to challenge Chicago for the best record in the East. I think it's down to those 2 teams now.
And they've been winning, Boston has, without some of their main weapons. Larry Bird is back, but now Kevin McHale is injured, and Boston continues winning anyway.
Well, McHale is a big key to this team's success in the post. He's actually their best low post player, and they're going to miss him tonight because he had a big ball game in Boston Garden, scoring 17 points in the second quarter, distorting the Phoenix defense, forcing them to double team the post. Phoenix will not have to do that tonight. Phoenix's game plan is going to be to not let Gamble and the other guys, D. Brown, Shaw, and Lewis have big games. They feel that Parrish and Bird will get theirs tonight.
Now, the story of Phoenix, they're in 3rd place. They have 32 wins, 3rd place in the Pacific Division, but after eliminating LA in the playoffs last year, they came into this season with very high expectations from the fans and the press.
Well, this franchise changed so quickly. You know, they went through the situation where they traded the team off. They were down in the depths. All of a sudden, it turned quickly. They got Kevin Johnson. They got Chambers. They got to the finals. Now, all of a sudden, they feel like if they don't get to the finals at the total deal, that it's going to be a lost year. With that goes pressure. And now this team is sort of in a crisis period. They've realized that in order to get to the finals, they must play better defense. Their defense has gotten better. You see, after 25 games, they were giving up 115 points. In the last 24, only 102. But look at their offense. They were averaging 119, now down to 110. What does that do, you say? Well, all of a sudden, these guys, Tom Chambers, instead of scoring 25 points a game, he might be scoring 19. Xavier McDaniel's scoring is down. So there's a little crisis going on now. These guys are not getting their numbers. They're going to have to get through this period of time and realize that defense and rebounding will win in the end.
And there is a new face in a Phoenix uniform. On January 26, Phoenix signed Joe Barry Carroll. He's been on the suspended list, getting in shape. He's with the team and will play tonight, some in the game. Tim Perry has been placed on the injured list. We'll be back here with a tip-off between Phoenix and Boston in just a few moments. But right now, after these commercial timeouts, we'll be joining Ernie Johnson in Atlanta.
Bob
Bob Neal and Doug Collins with you from Veterans Memorial Coliseum. It's the 42nd consecutive sellout here in the Valley of the Sun, and let's have a look at the Chief Eagles starting lineups. First of all, for the visiting and streaking Boston Celtics, Robert Parrish will be at center. He had a whale of a game just the other day. Gamble and Bird at the forwards, Reggie Lewis and Brian Shaw, and missing from the lineup, he doesn't start usually anyways, Kevin McHale out with the ankle. He's on the trip but still receiving treatment and won't be playing in tonight's ball game. Of course, Chris Ford, who's one of 4 NBA rookie head coaches to coach in the All-Star game, heads the bench for the Boston Celtics. The Phoenix Suns will have Chambers and McDaniel up front, Mark West at center, Jeff Hornacek and Kevin Johnson at the guards, and Cotton Fitzsimmons. And you see him smiling, and that's because he really was fearful of Kevin McHale, who punishes Phoenix in that low post game. So when he saw Kevin McHale walk in tonight with a limp and decide not to play, it made Cotton a very happy camper, and this game is underway.
Well, Cotton, in fact, said to Kevin, he said, I know that foot's going to feel better when you're flying out of here.
Larry Bird into Robert Parrish.
Now, Parrish got off big against the Lakers. They went to him early against Vlade Divac. He had 21 in the first quarter. Let's see if they try to go to that matchup here early in the game.
West defended it well that time. Hornacek from Kevin Johnson.
Now, that's a matchup we're going to have to watch. Kevin Gamble is playing Hornacek. They're going to play Reggie Lewis against Tom Chambers to try to take away the screen roll game of Kevin Johnson and Tom Chambers. Kevin Gamble cannot let Hornacek spot up for those open jumpers.
Reggie Lewis defended by Hornacek. Lewis with the quickness beats Hornacek off the dribble. But the defense was there from West. Now on the run, Xavier McDaniel with the penetration past Larry Bird. Bird cannot stop him there one-on-one, that's for certain. Answers with a 2-pointer standing on the line.
You know, since Larry Bird has been out with the injury and come back, he's actually been a little stronger, as we see Chambers with the jumper. But his three-point shooting is much better since he has come back.
Parrish with a rebound to Gamble. Gamble posting up Hornacek. Missing badly. McDaniel with the rebound. And to Kevin Johnson. It's 4-2 Phoenix. Opening moments. First quarter from Veterans Memorial Coliseum.
Now with Chambers playing against Reggie Lewis, we'll see if he tries to post him up inside. He settles for the outside jump shot. Chambers should like to post him up, get inside, and use his advantage against Reggie Lewis in the low post. There you go. Take it to the basket.
And he draws the foul. Chambers only 1 of 8 the other night shooting. Very unhappy player in that loss down at Houston. And at Houston, Phoenix did not play well. They particularly didn't rebound well.
33 second shots they gave up. Cotton Fitzsimmons was talking about, we held them to 39% field goal shooting, and we were never in the ball game. He was very discouraged. He felt his team did not play very hard. And I think in tonight's game, it's going to be very interesting to see how this Suns team comes out, because this is a team that's prided itself on the running game, the open floor game, and as they've gotten to be a playoff team and the numbers have come down, they've struggled a little bit. They're only 16-8 in their last 24 games. The big thing is teams are playing Kevin Johnson differently, Bob. They're backing off of him and giving him the shot, not allowing him to penetrate and get other players involved.
It is 6-2 Phoenix. Gamble dishes to Robert Parrish. The jump rope goes down for the Chief. It's 6-4. 9:59 to go first quarter. This could be a real up and down game, depending, because you've got 2 teams capable of running well at this game tonight. Pass inside to Chambers from Kevin Johnson.
That's where Tom Chambers can hurt Reggie Lewis. Reggie will not be able to handle him in the low post.
Lewis now driving on Hornacek, kicking it back out to Gamble. Shooting over 60% from the floor. To Bird with 14 on the clock. Chambers bothered the shot. McDaniel saves it. Kevin Johnson. Hornacek. Buries it from 19.
Twice now, Kevin Gamble has been sucked back in to try to help on penetration. He's left Hornacek. He's buried 2 long jump shots. Must stay at home on Hornacek.
Suns 10-4. Gamble from 17.
I really believe he's the difference in this team this year. We talk about D. Brown, we talk about Brian Shaw being back, but it's freed Larry Bird up to play the natural power forward position.
Now here's Chambers.
They're going to have to double team him down there.
He spins into the lane. The double team stripped the ball from him to Shaw. He pulls up from 15 and draws the foul.
I think it's going to be on Mark West. I think they're going to call
down by the basket.
Foul call on number 7, Kevin Johnson.
Now they said Kevin Johnson.
This is the matchup. We talk about Reggie Lewis. They're trying to play Chambers with a smaller player to take away the screen roll. So Phoenix will counter by going inside. Chambers trying to get those easy layups around the basket. I look for Boston to double back and force Chambers to get that ball back out.
Kevin Johnson fouls Brian Shaw. He goes to the line for 2. Can pull the Celtics to within 2 with a successful free throw here.
At 6'6" and with the speed and quickness that Brian Shaw has, he should be able to stay in front of Kevin Johnson. No one's going to keep him from completely penetrating, but he should be able to do a good job and keep him out of the lane.
Daniel over Larry Bird. Tough defensive assignment for Larry Bird. And now McDaniel with a tough defensive assignment. Bird gets the front edge of the rim, but Parrish is there. The pump fake, the foul, and the basket.
Second shots. We talk about giving up 33 offensive rebounds against Houston. Larry Smith the other night, 15 offensive rebounds himself in that ball game. Robert Parrish is one of the good offensive rebounders on this Boston Celtic team. When you look at them, they shoot such a high percentage, they don't get a lot of second shots. But Robert Parrish on the season has 156 offensive rebounds. He is their leading offensive rebounder.
3-point conversion. It's a 1-point Suns lead. 8:23 to go first quarter. Kevin Johnson looking for McDaniel in the post to Hornacek, still looking for him against Johnson. Against Parrish this time. That's Mark West. Check that, and West has the ball batted out of bounds.
Good defense there by Robert Parrish. As Phoenix tried to go into the low post, they get a new shot clock, ruling the ball hit the backboard, so it'll be a new 24-second shot clock for the Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix leading by 1. Bird almost had the steal because he got out on the break. McDaniel is left open. West with the rebound. He can't get it to fall, and Parrish comes away with the ball. 4 rebounds for Robert Parrish early in this game. Boston can take the lead on this possession. Nice pass from Bird to Brian Shaw.
Well, Phoenix got away with an illegal switch that time. Bird had a mismatch. Chambers came over and double teamed quickly before Bird had the ball. They got away with that one.
Celtics take the lead.
There's Hornacek again. Gamble losing him on the perimeter. Kevin Gamble must stay with Jeff Hornacek. He cannot give that kind of help. That's 3 for 3 from the perimeter now.
Suns regain the lead 14-13. 6 points for Hornacek.
Looks like they're trying to post up Brian Shaw against Kevin Johnson.
Here's the double team. Gamble's open. He kicks it to Reggie Lewis. Chambers. Good ball movement. Penetration by Kevin Johnson. Behind the back to McDaniel. Over Robert Parrish. Rebound Reggie Lewis.
Xavier McDaniel had an open shot. He put it on the floor, made it tougher, and as a result missed the shot.
Timeout, Suns.
We've got a block called on Hornacek. And the Suns call timeout with 6:33 to go in the first quarter, leading it by 1. It's another sellout crowd as the Phoenix Suns hope to stop the West Coast win streak of the Boston Celtics. Suns lead it by 1 point, and some of the players on Phoenix have been, I think, wanting to get the ball a little more. Kevin Johnson's trying to do just that tonight. Here to McDaniel.
Well, you see, here's what I talk about. McDaniel has a shot right there, okay? Now he's going to try to pump fake thinking Parrish is going to go for it. He doesn't, and now look at the shot he ends up with. Much tougher shot. He had the shot initially.
Kevin Johnson, 5 assists in the first 5.5 minutes of this game.
Looks like he's making a real conscious effort to get his teammates off.
Bird tried to hit Gamble. The ball came out into the hands of Parrish, who gets the basket. Parrish has 7 points early, so he too is starting very well, just as he did in the game against the Los Angeles Lakers. Celtics up by 1.
See, Shaw's done a good job right there, keeping Kevin Johnson in front of him. You make him take that outside jump shot. That's terrific defense.
That time no ball movement at all. It just stayed in the hands of Kevin Johnson, and he shot it with 7 on the shot clock. McDaniel with the foul.
His first 14th foul on the Suns.
Suns have 14 fouls, only 1 against Boston. 5:40 to go in the first quarter. Bird for 3. Rebound Parrish. Bird missing again. Larry Bird has been ice cold in the first part of this ball game. Kevin Johnson with the drive and the dish. It won't go in, and then Chambers answers with his own offensive stick back. He has 6.
Making a real conscious effort here to post up Brian Shaw against Kevin Johnson. It'll be interesting to see now whether Phoenix has to go back and give Kevin a little help. That's 3 times in the ball game now they've gone to Brian Shaw in the low post.
Shaw has 6 points. 17-16 Boston.
Now here's the post up with Chambers against Reggie Lewis.
Reggie Lewis got up and blocked that shot. Bird tried to hit Parrish. It was deflected. Gamble with the penetration. That's one of the reasons his shooting percentage is so high, is his excellent moves to the hoop.
And that was a tough shot, Bob. That was a left-hand hook shot up over the top of Mark West, who leaped to block the shot. Nice play by Kevin Gamble.
Chambers 4-3.
Boy, Chambers is getting some shots up here early.
Bird to Reggie Lewis. Gamble's down there too. Lewis has it stripped away. Gamble has it. The ball has been bouncing Boston's way early. They have a 3-point lead. Mark West rebound. Chambers. The ball this time bounces McDaniel's way, and he sticks it from 6 feet and has 6 points. Celtics nursing a 1-point lead with 4 minutes to go, first quarter. 10 to shoot. Bird from the perimeter nails this one over Chambers.
Bird's shot really looks good tonight. He's got great rotation on it. The ones he's missed, he's really been long with, which tells you that his legs are fresh tonight. It's one thing you always look for in a shooter.
Hornacek played by Gamble. McDaniel over Bird. The ball will belong to the Phoenix Suns.
Well, he's pointing towards the Phoenix Suns, but I think he wants to. He means that the Celtics are going to have the basketball.
Yeah, I would think so also.
Because what if Mark West came down with the ball standing out of bounds? So Bob Delaney had the call the right way. He just was pointing the wrong direction. He was saying Boston and pointing toward the Phoenix Suns basket.
We always talk about the officials after they make a mistake.
Yeah.
Bob Delaney, David Jones, Ed Rush are officials tonight.
Let's see if Kevin Gamble gets a jump shot off. They're going to look like to post up Brian Shaw again. Normally on that play they try to get a jump shot for Kevin Gamble.
That time from about 3 feet, Robert Parrish, who has 9 points. Celtics up by 5. And Marley into the game.
Oh, nice pass by Brian Shaw. Look at
Birds bounce to Gamble.
Boy, right now Boston really looks crisp.
A lot of people thinking, as there's a 20-second timeout for Phoenix, thinking that Larry Bird, being the slow player in his later years that he isn't a part of that running game, but he really helps make it go.
Well, he's the integral part of their running game because of his passing ability and because of his defensive rebounding. But watch the way this play is triggered here. Marley's going to miss the shot. Now, Brian Shaw gets the outlet, and Kevin Johnson runs in front of him. He realizes it, and all in one motion, he gives it up to Bird. Bird's heads up. You've got to cover him to the three-point line, and there's Gamble streaking on the outside. That's a picture-perfect fast break. The ball never really being dribbled, thrown ahead twice, and a nice bounce pass.
Well, Larry Bird says his back's feeling much better, and one of the reasons is on this road trip he's able to lay down and stretch out as they travel because of the private airplane that they now
Well, I think that's a good move by Boston. A lot of these teams, Detroit, Chicago, teams that are in your upper echelon are doing that because they feel like it's worth 4 or 5 road wins to them. Boston having the best road record they've had in a long, long time at 16-8.
Daniel backing in on Bird with a spin move. Rebound Parrish. 8 rebounds for Robert Parrish in the first quarter with 2:41 remaining. Brian Shaw losing it. Kevin Johnson back so quickly from 14.
Boy, Robert Parrish is
9
big.
rebounds.
That was is at 9 points and 9 rebounds in the first quarter.
Loose ball foul is called.
I think they'll be shooting. That will be the 5th team foul, so they'll be shooting. Robert Parrish is a Hall of Fame center. You know, he's been a guy who's played with Dennis Johnson and with Bird and McHale and Danny Ainge. Without this guy, they would not have the championship rings they do.
Timeout, Boston. 2:33 to go, first quarter. So the Celtics have the 25-18 lead, and this is how much what they've been doing offensively lately.
Well, let me tell you how all this translates. First, they're first in field goal percentage. That's pretty self-explanatory. They run, they get easy baskets. But how do they do that is, first of all, they're a very, very good rebounding team. And when you rebound and you run and you pass well, you shoot the basketball well. You see they're first in free throw percentage. They're 5th in assists. Bird is leading the assists. He's their 2nd leading defensive rebounder. So why do you miss Larry Bird? Because you missed his passing and you missed his defensive rebounding. They're first in opponent's field goal percentage, which means that you shoot very poorly against them. There's going to be a lot of rebounds. They're 2nd in block shots. They change your shots. And look at the rebounding. So it all sort of ties in with each other. You know, a lot of times statistics are meaningless. These statistics tell you a lot.
I think Boston playing better than anybody in the NBA right now, right this moment.
I think that I would have to agree with you. The question you have is what will be their health going into the playoffs? And you can say what you want to say, but every day they're scared to death that Larry Bird's back is going to go bad on him again. They cannot win this without him, and the only hope they have is that he can stay healthy and they can get McHale back.
Celtics by 8, 2:29 remaining in the first quarter. Parrish, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 1 block shot.
Look at Chief here as a steal.
He changes the statistics before I finish reading them, and he's fouled by Rambis and will go back to the free throw line.
Is Robert Parrish. This is just another dimension he adds. Look at Robert Parrish in the passing lane, and a good steal there by, a good foul there by Kurt Rambis. Otherwise, Robert Parrish has a breakaway dunk.
Rambis, Lang, Marley, McDaniel in there along with Kevin Johnson for the Phoenix Suns.
See, what you miss with McHale being out of the lineup too, Bob, is McHale's also played a lot of backup center this year. So when Parrish has gone out, they've moved McHale into the center position and continued to keep Larry Bird as a power forward. They'll lose that flexibility and versatility with McHale out with an injury.
Celtics up by 10 now with 2:12 to go first period. Boston stayed with their starting lineup all the way here. Daniel missing. Parrish
sort of redundant.
A double-double already.
2 minutes in the quarter.
See, Robert Parrish. Now, Robert Parrish, they played against Denver the other day, a team that really doesn't have a center. He only played 20 minutes. So, in essence, he's had about 4 days rest. You can really tell that in his legs tonight.
Kevin Johnson with good elevation sticks that jumper for his first basket of the night. Parrish, 10 to shoot for the Celtics. Good ball movement again. Reggie Lewis sticks the jumper uncontested.
That's what they did against the Lakers the other night. They moved the clock down, and Reggie Lewis hit some real big jump shots, especially in that 4th period as they were holding on to an 11-point lead.
Now McDaniel against Gamble. Bird comes in for the block.
Call to number 34.
And they're going to give the foul to Gamble before the block. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Doug and I will be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. 32-20 Celtics by a big 12 with 1:06 remaining in the first quarter. McDaniel came from Seattle for Eddie Johnson mid-season. Scoring definitely down since he's come to this team. It's a team of scorers, of course, with Chambers, Kevin Johnson.
The Hornacek's their 4th leading scorer at 17 points a game. There's a lot of teams in this league whose leading score is 17 or their 2nd leading, so they have guys that can put the ball in the basket.
Bird and Parrish tried to pick and roll. Passing lane interrupted by Phoenix, and back comes Johnson with a bounce to Marley. And the foul.
Beautiful pass by Kevin Johnson to Dan Marley. Dan Marley gets out on the break so well. Nice finish and the foul by Kevin Gamble. Here's Bird. He's going to look to make the little pass. Xavier McDaniel gets his hand in the passing lane. Kevin Johnson has his eyes up. He sees the floor. Nice bounce pass, and Kevin Gamble just let Dan Marley run past him.
2 on Gamble now as Ed Pinckney comes into the lineup for the Celtics. Chambers back in for the Phoenix Suns. McDaniel will sit down. Dan Marley from Central Michigan. The Chippewas?
That's what it is.
Yes. On the penetration move, tough play by Lewis. Too much defense there. Look at that bounce pass from Rambis to Lang, who traveled.
Dan Marley was making an unselfish play there, but Andrew Lang is the guy you don't make that pass to on the fast break. A big guy, you only pass the ball like that if he has a wide open layup. You don't want him to be able to put it on the floor because he'll travel with the ball, which is what he did.
20 seconds remaining in the quarter. 10 to shoot. It's 3 on 2. Marley draws the foul as he gets the layup. Brian Shaw got it.
Phoenix is getting back in this ball game since they've inserted Dan Marley. Their defense has picked up. He's forced a couple steals. Xavier McDaniel did a nice job in the passing lane, so have an opportunity now to get 6 points off turnovers. They got a 3-point play when Bird's pass was deflected. Marley with the 3-point play, another 3-point play opportunity. So Boston has dominated this quarter, and if Marley makes his free throw, they're only up 5 points.
7.1 seconds remaining in the first period.
See if Phoenix tries to throw a little trap up here on them just so they can't run the ball right down the floor and get an easy basket. Looks like Chambers is up here, but
they decide not to throw the trap. Shaw uncontested to the basket. Lang blocks it with 1.4 remaining in the quarter.
Andrew Lang is a good shot blocker. You just can't put the ball up there in his face. He'll erase that away, and Brian Shaw thinks he's going to be able to loft this over him. Andrew Lang blocks that shot very nicely.
The pass to Shaw, but just after the buzzer sounds, wave off the basket. Celtics conclude the first quarter here at Phoenix with a 5-point lead. We'll be back to the Valley of the Sun in just a moment. Boston on a 4-game West Coast win streak.
Three reminders.
Celtics were up by 12. Phoenix closed out the quarter on a 7-0 run, and the Celtics are on a West Coast run at the moment.
Well, they really did this. So they were down 13 in the third quarter. Seattle came back to win that game. That's when McHale went down, and then they went to Golden State and Presley by 16, 13, and 18. So you can see since the fourth quarter of that Seattle game, they've been playing terrific basketball on this road trip.
McHale got hurt in the Seattle game. He's missed all those games up till now, and Boston continues winning. There's one is to Chambers.
Oh, got a rebound that ball. It was wide open. Joe Klein had the ball, and he slapped it right to Hornacek.
And Bird got that defensive board out so fast. Got a jam opportunity down here for Boston, and the big hard foul to stop the jam.
Well, Andrew Lang was trying to hold up Reggie Lewis. It was actually a nice play. Reggie Lewis stopped to take off 2 feet, and when he did, allowed Lang to catch up to him. Let's watch the outlet here, Bob. Now, it's a nice pass. Now, if Reggie Lewis takes a 1-foot takeoff, he's got to dunk, but he stops. And when he does, Lang catches up to him and causes him to pay for it. Now he'll have to earn 2 free throws.
Lang is 6'11", 250 pounds, and has quickness in terms of getting up quickly and blocking shots. Good hands, too, as you pointed out before.
Has a very good upside to him. He's becoming a better offensive player, a very good rebounder and a shot blocker. So if he gets a little offense, he could be a young center that could be a very good player here for the Phoenix Suns.
Hornacek with the turnover to Shaw. Bird bounces to Pinckney for the reverse jam.
Delay a game on the Boston Celtics.
Delay of game charge to the Boston Celtics.
I'm sure Ed Pinckney would like to play well. He was originally a first-round pick of the Phoenix Suns.
See on the top of your screen over there, D. Brown pumping up, ready to come into the ball game.
The Gorilla did a great skid here in between quarters on him.
D. Brown, the slam dunk champion.
A nice rebound by Joe Klein. Just ripped that away from Kurt Rambis.
Pinckney got out on the break quickly. Klein to Lewis against Marley. Marley, good defense.
Marley's done a good job on Reggie Lewis. Forced 2 turnovers since he started playing him as he checked in the ball game.
Number 7.
D. Brown comes in for Brian Shaw.
For Brian Shaw.
Now with this lineup on the floor for the Boston Celtics, Larry Bird and Reggie Lewis will have to be their offense. You have Pinckney, Klein, and D. Brown in the game with them. None of those 3 guys are good scorers, so Bird and Lewis will have to be the offense while Parrish rests.
Hornacek got the pick from Rambis, and Brown fought through it and almost got a steal. 7 to shoot for Phoenix.
Well, he got a walk there.
Now 2 to shoot. And that's going to be a violation on the shot clock. The ball will belong to Boston.
Tom Chambers a little upset. He had the open jump shot. He tried to drive it past Pinckney. Pinckney got a piece of it. Reggie Lewis was able to pick up the loose ball. It did not hit the basket, so the shot clock did not recycle. We had a violation.
Bird for 3. Bird has missed 5 and only hit 2 shots tonight thus far in this game.
Boy, D. Brown is quick. He really gets over the top of those screens.
Marley against Lewis with the penetration. He's fouled. Pinckney got it, his first.
Dan Marley's very active offensively here in this ball game. Normally a guy that known for his defense, but he's really looking to attack off the dribble. Reggie Lewis, you see him taking it in the lane. He's going to pump fake and go up and under. And right there is where the foul is committed. Dan Marley with 2 3-point plays in this game already to close off a 7-0 run at the end of the first quarter to get Phoenix back into the game.
Marley has 7 points and the steal and the good defense. Kevin Johnson will rejoin the Phoenix offensive lineup in just a moment. I guess perhaps the defensive lineup too. Celtics by 7. Hornacek almost got that steal. Now the shot clock kept running, so it's only 10 to go here. 9, 8. Bird with the fake. The pitch to Klein. He's got the face-up jumper. Doesn't get it this time, though. Bird with the offensive board. Goes to the floor, misses the shot. 3 on 3. Phoenix from 18. Hornacek. He has 8. Celtics by 5. Chambers came over to help out, but Hornacek did a very good job playing D. Brown and the foul.
D. Brown really looking to try to take Jeff Hornacek off the dribble on a one-on-one move. Hornacek plays it very well. You're going to see the isolation. Chambers comes over to get help. He gets a piece of the shot. Brown is going to get it back, and then he's going to dish underneath to Reggie Lewis, who will get to the free throw line for 2 free throws. We can see right now that, Cotton Fitzsimmons is going basically to a 9-man rotation. Rambis is out now. Marley moves down to the small forward. Kevin Johnson back into the game as the point guard Hornacek moves over. So Hornacek will be the backup point guard now to Kevin Johnson rather than Nigel Knight. Nigel Knight probably won't see as much time as they make their push now to get ready for the playoffs.
That was the second personal foul, by the way, on Andrew Lang, and it's a 7-point Celtics lead with 9:10 to go first half. Along with Doug Collins, Bob Neal with you from Phoenix, Arizona. Kevin Johnson beats D. Brown on the dribble. Loose ball foul.
Foul charge to number 53 of Boston.
That's on Joe Klein.
Second foul on Celtics.
Chris Ford, all-star coach.
Done a great job with this Boston team here this year. They have some versatility now. The young guys have come through for him. The older guys are playing super basketball, so he has a legitimate chance at an NBA championship in his first year on the job.
Chambers over Bird from Kevin Johnson. Got the front of the rim. Bird's going to take the 3.
See, Larry Bird, you've got to play him out there. Now, what's going to happen is the next time he's going to raise you up like he's going to shoot the three, you're going to leave your feet, and he's going to drive past you. So it makes him a quicker player, the fact that he shoots the ball so well.
There's Bird with the steal. To Klein. Brian Shaw traveled. Klein caused that by giving it to Brian Shaw unexpectedly there. That was good news, bad news. Yes, give up the ball. That's good. Bad, don't giving up that way, Joe. Chambers only 2 of 10 tonight. He was 1 of 8 against Houston, we told you.
There's some pressure on Tom Chambers. He and Kevin Johnson had a little bit of shouting match the other night in Houston, and Tom Chambers said that you know, his job on this team is to shoot the basketball. So he's gotten some shots early, just not been able to make them.
Well, you know what Kevin may have said. I don't think he did, but I would have said. Maybe I would have said, your job's not to shoot it, it's to hit the shots.
That's not all wrong.
That's my quote, not Kevin Johnson's. And I didn't say it to Tom. I said it to you. We have 9 to shoot and the foul. Kicking violation. No foul.
Kevin Johnson is really looking to pass tonight. You can really see on his penetration. I had him in here against the Lakers the other night. He had 35 points, and we got in there. He was looking to take his shot. Tonight he's thinking pass.
Marley with a good drive to the hoop. Foul continuation will score the basket. Marley with double figures. He has 10.
Dan Marley right now is the Phoenix offense. He has 3 three-point play opportunities. You're seeing him on the drive, and Pinckney just cannot cover him on that drive. Chris Ford is going to have to watch that matchup. Dan Marley a little too quick for Eddie Pinckney. He's getting inside of him and forcing defense to come over to give help.
Shaw with a foul. He has 2. You see Marley's just 2.4 points. Make it 1.4 below his average.
That's 3 three-point plays here in the game, and he's only played about 8 minutes.
41-34 Celtics. 7:56 to go first half.
See Marley on Bird now. See his versatility. See if they try to post Bird up against Marley.
There's a real traffic jam away from the ball, and Brian Shaw is just going to drive to the hoop. Rebound West. Kevin Johnson had to pull up for the jumper, tried to make the pass, kicked out of bounds. Great save by Hornacek. Rebound Klein. Stripped away Marley. Marley rebound. Marley tip in.
That was an unbelievable sequence by Dan Marley. Great hustle, 13 points. And again, he's keeping Boston alive right now. Chris Ford's going to call a 20-second timeout. And he's got to talk about what are we going to do to try to slow down Dan Marley.
That last sequence was truly amazing.
That's highlight film material right there.
Good angle from our slam cam.
Well, there's one miss. That was by Marley. You're going to see Marley. He knocks the ball loose, so there's a steal. He misses this shot. The ball is knocked loose. Who ends up? There's a rebound for Marley. He misses that one. Here's an offensive rebound. So 3 rebounds, 2 steals, and a basket, and 3 misses. So field goal percentage did not help with that sequence, but everything else did.
Look at that. He's doing it all off the bench tonight, Dan Marley, and he's keeping the Suns in this game, trailing Boston by 5 with 7 minutes to go in the first half. It is Hornacek, Marley, Johnson, West, and Chambers on the floor against Parrish, Pinckney, Bird, Shaw, and D. Brown.
See, they're going to go into the post with Bird against Marley. He's going to use his size advantage inside.
Jump hook won't fall. Rebound Hornacek. Kevin Johnson saw that opening from Hornacek. It's only 4 points for Kevin Johnson.
Right now, Phoenix has a very quick team on the floor. They actually have 3 guards. So Marley's matched up against Bird. Let's watch the Celtic transition defense with this team on the floor.
Robert Parrish against West. He's isolated, tries to back in. Gets West airborne, misses the shot. Rebound Bird. Pass inside to Pinckney.
Timeout, Suns.
Draws the foul, and Phoenix will call a timeout, and that'll be the second personal foul on Chambers. We have 6 minutes, 27 seconds remaining in the first half, and the Celtics leading it by only 3 after earlier having led by 12.
Football toss presented by
Celtics lead it 41-38, but the Suns really making a run here with 6:27 to go in the first half of play. We talk about the Phoenix Suns being streak busters. See some of the Piston streaks they've stopped this year.
2 of those games were on TNT. The Portland game, I did that game in November, and also the Laker game. So I saw Cotton today, and he said he was very happy to see me. So
you'll get credit for this. This would be 7. The Celtics have won 7 in a row, 4 on the West Coast trip, but 7 overall.
Well, Boston's also trying to break a streak. This is 11 straight home victories that Phoenix has, so they're trying to break a streak of their own and keep their own road winning streak going.
Indiana out in front of Charlotte. Charlotte on a slump at the moment. You gave me a look on that one. At the moment, you could have said. And Philly winning at home lately. And they're leading against Seattle. Philadelphia playing reasonably well. They're the other team you might mention when you talk about the East. You've got to talk about Boston, Detroit, Chicago, and that's really the cream of the crop. And maybe Philadelphia there, maybe Milwaukee.
Milwaukee got off to a great start, but they really struggled lately, and they've made a trade now to get Dale Ellis for Ricky Pierce. So they're sort of a team now a little bit in transition.
Kevin Johnson saw the opening, penetrated, and kicked to Hornacek.
Gamble again, got caught peeking. Hornacek with a shot. I'm seeing Chris Ford is saying, please don't leave Hornacek.
Celtics lead has been whittled to 2. Pinckney down inside. There's the double team. Open man is Bird. 8 to shoot. Parrish. To Shaw. Big bucket by Brian Shaw.
That's a game of the part of Brian Shaw's game that has gotten much better. If he had a weakness, it was his outside shooting. He's getting much better at that.
Bryant has 8. Reggie Lewis going to be back in the game in just a moment for Boston. Again, penetration and the kick out from Kevin Johnson, but Chambers missed the shot.
And Marley on the offensive boards kept the ball alive. Almost a spectacular tip.
Good play by Pinckney to Shaw. To Gamble. Off the glass. Pinckney made that happen, tipping the loose ball out to Brian Shaw.
Screen roll with Chambers, Kevin Johnson.
There's the roll, the bad pass, and belonged to Boston. Up by 6. McDaniel back in for Phoenix. Reggie Lewis checks in for Larry Bird for Boston. Bird sits down with 7 points.
Now, when he goes over the bench, he'll sit for a while, and he'll also lay down on the floor for a while. He does not want that back to stiffen up, a little bit like we saw Rick Mahorn do in the playoffs a few years ago for the Detroit Pistons.
10 seconds to shoot for the Celtics. Down to Reggie Lewis. There's the double team. Tried to split it and drew the foul.
Dan Marley is really aggressive on the defense tonight. Not that he isn't always, but that time went back very strong to double team. New shot clock now as the Celtics aren't yet in the penalty.
By the way, they charged that foul to Hornacek. He was trying to stop Reggie Lewis from posting him up. Forced him out.
Hornacek did a good job that time. Forced him off the block, didn't let him post him, squared him up, did not let him get around him on the drive, and made him shoot the jump shot. You see Bird over there on the sideline trying to keep his back loose.
That looks like you at the pool.
That's right.
Yeah, was that for your back? Is that like...
Yeah, right.
Xavier McDaniel to Marley.
Boy, Marley just feels that every time he sees Pinckney on him, he can take him wherever he wants to. Chris Ford really in a dilemma right now with that matchup. Marley just taking the ball to the basket.
2 fouls on Pinckney. Team fouls, Boston with 4 and Phoenix with 4 with 4:21 to go in the first half. Marley goes to the line. Marley has 13 points. Perfect from the line, 6 out of 6 so far. Phoenix 9 out of 10 from the line. Boston 11 of 13. Quite a few free throws shot here in the first half. It's a 4-point Boston lead. Shaw backing in on Kevin Johnson, looking for Parrish. Finding the cutting Pinckney. Pinckney had it stripped away. They got a kick violation. And it'll go back to Boston with a new shot clock.
Well, Robert Parrish got off to a great start, and now Phoenix has gone back to double team him to take the ball out of his hands. They're going to force someone else to try to beat them. Doing a good job now rotating defensively, not letting Parrish post up against Mark West. You see him right now. Here comes Marley. And now the rotation, they're going to give Kevin Gamble that jump shot.
Pinckney went over West for the tip-in, but missed it. And now back comes Phoenix, and Kevin Johnson lost the dribble, had to leave it loose. And who's there to get it? Dan Marley's got 17. Parrish shot is blocked by West. It'll belong to Boston. 14 on the shot clock. Parrish had 12 first quarter points. He has a donut here in the second quarter.
Well, they've done a good job defensively. Now here's Kevin Johnson. He started to pass the ball, so he couldn't pick it up. Now how Marley comes out of the pack with this, I do not know, but he's been the man on the spot tonight.
Gamble got past Marley, but West was there to send him back. Into Parrish, looking for his first basket of the second quarter, and doesn't get it. Marley from Kevin Johnson. Timeout, Boston. It's tied at 46. Time for tonight's Nissan leaders. The leader of the best road records in the NBA, Boston. Lakers right close behind. Then Portland, Chicago, San Antonio, the elite teams in the NBA. Boston 16-8. They had a 12-point lead here, now tied at 46, thanks to Dan Marley.
Well, Dan Marley's done it on hustle points. I mean, the majority of baskets he's got is either second shot, steals, running out on the fast break. So he's done a tremendous job giving Phoenix the lift they've needed off the bench.
Marley on Bird. Bird finds Shaw curling into the paint. Missed off the glass. Rebound Hornacek to Kevin Johnson. Bad pass. Intended for McDaniel and out of bounds.
Kevin Johnson wanted Xavier McDaniel to come toward the basket. He tried to lead him, and Xavier McDaniel actually was sliding back. So that's the reason that ball went out of bounds. KJ looked over to Xavier and he said, come to the basket, don't fade away.
Tied at 46, 2:53 to go in the half. Boston led by 12. Now they've posted Bird against Marley, isolated it, 8 seconds to shoot.
Well, Marley's done a super job keeping his feet on the ground against Bird. There's a tough turnaround by Robert Parrish,
who has yet to score in this quarter after getting 12 in the first. Marley. Bounce pass inside McDaniel. McDaniel has 9, and the Suns have regained the lead. Foul is on McDaniel. That's 2.
This is one of those fouls that weren't very evident, but the one that where the guy hits you on the elbow as you're taking your shot, and that throws your shot off. So that was a good call. Xavier McDaniel tried to get away with a little tap on the elbow, and Bob Delaney caught him.
Well, Boston can't throw it in the ocean. 24% here in the second quarter.
Here's the play right here. You're going to see Kevin Gamble goes up, and you're going to see right there, you see him hit him on the elbow.
Tied at 48, 2 minutes to go half. Daniel over Bird. Rebound Parrish. He has 11. Celtics can regain the lead. Quick move to the hole by Lewis. Big time play, missed the shot. McDaniel has Phoenix running. It's 4 against 3. It back in.
Tough shot by Xavier McDaniel. He leaned in and he missed it, but he stayed with the shot nicely.
Bird sets the pick for Shaw's jumper.
Again, Brian Shaw, you're sliding on, you're seeing the defender slide underneath that screen, and Brian Shaw shooting the outside jump shot.
Good Boston balance with scoring. Shaw has 10. Tied at 50. Boston hasn't won in this building since 1988. Johnson beats Shaw. Hands the ball to McDaniel, who can't get it to fall. Gets his own board. Bird fouls him as he strips the ball away.
Foul call on number 33, Larry Bird.
You see Kevin Johnson, he's going to get inside, and Robert Parrish comes over to give help. Now, Mark West did a great job right there. As Bird tried to rotate over to get into the passing lane, Mark West stepped in front of him and would not allow Bird to get there and enabled Xavier McDaniel to be wide open. He missed the layup, but he stayed with it, and he's going to get 2 free throws. So Mark West prevented the rotating man defensively from stepping in there, and is going to give Xavier McDaniel the 2 points. So that's something Mark West did in that sequence that's not going to be shown on the stat sheet, but gave his team 2 points.
Coming up at halftime, the Prudential halftime reporter Ernie Johnson will be in our Atlanta studio for scores and highlights from around the league, including Seattle, Philadelphia, and the Lakers in Houston. Also, Doug Collins will have NBA news and notes. Do you know that?
That'll be
Do you
good.
have those prepared?
That'll be good.
That's what it says. You better get to work. Brian Shaw to Bird, long range. Rebound McDaniel. Bird's been cold from the perimeter.
Hornacek's going to be open. Nobody spotted him up back here, but Marley's going to take the shot.
Loose ball foul. It's on Boston.
Loose ball foul, number 35, Reggie Lewis.
It's on Reggie Lewis. We were talking about Bird's shooting percentage. Only 3 of 11 from the floor in this first half.
He got off to a big first quarter the other day against Denver. Had 17 first quarter points, ended up the game with 24. But against Los Angeles, he did not shoot well either. But his passing and his rebound was so strong that the Celtics were able to win that game. This is Xavier McDaniel over the last 4 games. You see averaging only 7 points on 11 for 41, less than 27% from the field. So Xavier McDaniel trying to snap out of a 4-game slump.
Well, he's doing it tonight. That was his 15th point. Many from the free throw line.
Boston will try to play for the last shot. There's about a 4-second differential.
Suns by 4. Boston had led by 12. Time remaining in the half, 14 seconds.
Phoenix has dominated this quarter with their small lineup. Marley is a small forward and the other 2 guards on the floor.
Big bucket by Reggie Lewis. 8.8 remaining. Phoenix back very quickly. 1 second to shoot. McDaniel does not get the ball into West's hands in time. The basket won't count, and the Suns leave at halftime with a 2-point lead. But Cotton Fitzsimmons' insertion of that small lineup has certainly given some problems to the Celtics, who at one time had led by 12. Doug Collins now will be back here in a few minutes, but right now it's time for the Prudential halftime report.
Got open for 5 jump shots, 7 for 25 shooting for Xavier McDaniel and Chambers, so they could have a real nice lead if those guys were hitting any kind of percentage.
As we take a look at the statistics from the first half, we're going to have to start saying human highlight film, but no, that's Dominique. We can't call him Air Marley.
Well, you see, right now you see the field goal percentage, 42% for the half for Boston, only 39 for Phoenix. But here was a matchup: Dan Marley against Ed Pinckney. He got to the basket 3 times, 3 3-point plays in the first half for Dan Marley. Here you see Kevin Johnson's going to pick up his dribble. It would have been a violation. So Dan Marley, how does he come out of the pile? I do not know, but he gets it, a nice little left-handed scoop layup. And here's the sequence. This is the Dan Marley highlight film right here. In this sequence, Dan Marley is going to have 4 field goal attempts. He's going to be 1 for 4 from the floor. There's another miss. He's going to have 1 steal and 2 rebounds. So here's another rebound. There's a miss. And here's another rebound and a shot. So he was 1 for 4 with 2 rebounds and a steal on that 1 possession.
His whole season, 19 points. His season high, by the way, is 24 for the entire game. 5 rebounds, 2 steals. How about Magic Marley?
Well, I tell you, whatever it is, he injected him with a lot of life in that second quarter, and that small lineup really hurt the Boston Celtics. Robert Parrish, after a big first quarter, 0 in the second.
Chambers fouled on the shot. Tom Chambers struggled in the first half, was only 2 of 12 for 6 points. Bird with the personal.
Number 33, Larry Bird, is second for his team.
Here's Chambers McDaniel, 2 for 12. You see a combined 7 for 25. They did get 21 points, but on 25 shots.
Chambers' age may be showing on him a little bit. Is it too early to say that?
Well, I think one of the reasons why they wanted to get Xavier McDaniel is to free up Tom Chambers to play strictly as a power forward. And what he's done now, he plays a lot on the perimeter. He tries to use his speed and quickness against bigger guys out on the perimeter. And he's been bothered by a sore back. It's something that he's not been able to shake. And I think you can see it in his jumping. He's not finishing around the basket with that great lift that he did early in the season.
In his 10th year, the wear and tear slowing him a bit. Here's Shaw pounding it inside and rattles it home. Brian Shaw.
4 times they've gone to the post now. Brian Shaw against Kevin Johnson. That was a tough shot as Mark West tried to come over to give some help. See a different matchup this half. See Bird playing Tom Chambers. He did not help off on that screen. Kevin Johnson turned the corner.
But Shaw beat Johnson back and got it to Lewis for the easy layup.
See, Marley starting this quarter, so Cotton wants them to get off to a good start here. Does not want to have them dig a hole like they did early in the game. There's Hornacek again. That time Gamble got a hand in his face. I'm sure Chris Ford talked to him about that at halftime.
Parrish with his 12th rebound. He had a mismatch down inside there with Gamble and Hornacek. A bit of a mismatch. 9 to shoot. Bird pulls up from 17. Larry Bird only 3 of 11 in the first half. Jams this one.
You can count on him continuing to take his shot.
Tied at 58. Chambers penetrating against Bird. Rebound Lewis.
See, Tom Chambers didn't finish that strongly. Did you see it? It was more of a flip.
Reggie Lewis draws Chambers out, then takes the 10-footer. And Cotton Fitzsimmons does not like what he's seen. His 2-point lead is turned into a 2-point deficit with 10:08 to go in the third quarter. Timeout, Phoenix. We continue our NBA coverage on TNT next Tuesday with the Los Angeles. Actually, it continues on Friday with the Lakers at the Atlanta Hawks. I'll be there with Hubie Brown. The Lakers losing Perkins, by the way.
Well, the Lakers right now are going to go through a stretch. I think they play 11 of their next 13 games on the road. 5 of those will be without Sam Perkins. So this is a very important stretch for these Western teams. And we'll take a look later at the schedules of both Phoenix and the Boston Celtics and how that plays into the factor on the home court advantage as we face now the last 30 games of the season. But right now, Lakers in a time where they've got to win some games on the road if they hope to get that second position or even challenge Portland for the first.
10 to shoot for Phoenix. Chambers taking it inside against Bird. Bird got right up in his face, committed the foul, and that'll be 3 on Larry Bird.
Well, I think that Cotton Fitzsimmons feels that Tom Chambers is going to be able to take the ball at Larry Bird. Twice they've isolated. Chambers got inside the first time, did not get it to go that time with the drive, and he gets the foul. So it looks like they're going to go at Bird and make him play defense, maybe try to tire him out for the late in the game.
Chambers shaking his head, even struggling with his feeling on the free throws right now. One of those periods this season even the great scorers go through.
It's such a game of confidence. You know, Bob, I don't care what level you're playing. If you feel like you're in a rhythm, every shot you feel like goes in. And when you're not, you totally feel disorganized and disoriented out on the floor. It's like every shot you take is a mystery.
Tied at 60, 9:46 to go, third quarter. Celtics looking for win number 8 in a row. Be 5th on this West Coast road trip. Inside to Bird. He'll take it off the glass from Brian Shaw.
That was a great catch by Larry Bird. That's what made the shot the tremendous catch.
Celtics by 2.
Oh, nice play by Hornacek. Oh, he took the guy right to the screen and then ducked him back. They cleared out the side, and Kevin Johnson with a great pass. That was something that was called in the huddle.
Parrish with the pick and roll. Gamble takes the jumper. I know as a coach, you really love that because that's what coaches work on.
Oh, you love to, out of a timeout, execute and run the play. I mean, as a coach, you say, yeah, you know, that it worked.
Bird with another rebound. He's getting those defensive boards. Has 5. Gamble off the glass, but Lewis is there. Nobody to block him out. He didn't just get it back. Parrish draws the foul.
Now, it looked like Reggie Lewis had that shot on this side of the basket, Bob, and he made it tougher by going to the other side and missed a shot. I thought he was wide open.
He was naked on this side of the basket.
Let's watch now. When he goes up for this shot, tell me it looks like right there he's got a tip in. Now he takes it to the other side, and Mark West distorts his shot. Robert Parrish does clean up the miss and gets fouled.
West, being the great shot blocker, probably caused him to think about it.
Absolutely. Change that shot. It does not go down as a block shot, but that is a change shot.
And Robert Parrish getting his first points since the first quarter. Celtics by 3. Looking for Chambers. Bird this time stepped, anticipating that, and punched it out of bounds with 10 on the shot clock. Larry Bird defenses with his head because he can't really defense with his body very well.
Well, he's a great team defender. He knows the illegal defense probably better than anybody in the league, and he's a great team defender. You must make him play the ball.
Gamble showed it with his right and laid it in with a left. Show and take from Kevin Gamble.
That's why Kevin Gamble's shooting about 61% on the floor. He's getting a lot of easy shots.
Celtics with a 7-point difference since the half started. They lead by 5. Phoenix Suns roster is Joe Barry Carroll. He dressed out in uniform today as Tim Perry went on the injured list. Joe Barry was signed on January 26th, and as Phoenix heads into the run for the playoffs and the playoffs, he'll certainly help, because if nothing else, he gives West and Lang an opportunity to use more fouls and to play more aggressively because he can come in there.
Well, he's also a guy that you could put in the game and he could score points for you. He's a career 18-point per game scorer, so he's a guy that can catch the ball in the low post. He's got a fading jump shot, and he's also got a little jump hook on the baseline, so he can score points for you and on occasion block a shot. So if he can get in shape, I think there'll be games that he'll be able to help this team.
Bought a house in Atlanta. He said as soon as he bought it, he knew that it could be coming someplace like Phoenix. Kevin Johnson's pull-up doesn't go down. Parrish kept it alive for Gamble. This is a 4-on-2.
Boston's got numbers again. Kevin Gamble getting out on the fast break, and this is almost identical to the start of the ball game where Boston had the great first quarter where it was Robert Parrish. In this quarter, it's Kevin Gamble.
Gamble has 18 points in this game. West, little jump hook falls. That was a nice delivery after the penetration by Hornacek. It's a 5-point Celtics lead.
That was like one of my drives in golf. That wasn't very pretty, but it ended up in the fairway.
5-point Celtics lead. That was the first basket of the game for Mark West. Not known for his scoring anyway, so that's not news. Bird tried the no-look over-the-shoulder pass. It was flicked out of bounds with 7 on the shot clock. Rambis and McDaniel are in, and Chambers and Marley will rest.
See, now Cotton went with the fact that Marley was hot, and he finished up the half strong, so he started him to try to get off to a good start. He saw that that was not working, so now he comes back in with McDaniel and Rambis.
Parrish throws up a tough shot. Hornacek off the screen. Good secondary defense, though, and Gamble comes away with it to Shaw.
Well, right now, Boston running their transition game. This is something they've beating teams with all season long. The young legs of Brian Shaw and Kevin Gamble, Reggie Lewis really paying dividends in this third quarter.
Celtics have outscored the Sun by 11 in this quarter and lead it by 9. McDaniel's fouled by Gamble. It wasn't that long ago Kevin Gamble was playing in Manila. He must remind himself every now and then.
Here's the shot. Rambis fumbles the pass, and this is Boston at its best. Brian Shaw, you see Reggie Lewis out on the break. And here's Brian Shaw taking the ball up and over the top of Xavier McDaniel. Nice little jump hook, nice shot. So, you know, Xavier McDaniel played a game against the Boston Celtics when he was with Seattle. He was 2 for 10. The first game they played in Boston Garden, he was something like 3 for 12. So he has struggled against this Boston defense this year because of the shot blocking ability of McHale and Parrish take away a lot of his inside game. Obviously, McHale not here tonight.
There's the turnover. Kevin Johnson. Hornacek back behind the back.
What a great play.
Followed. What a great defensive play.
Brian Shaw, tremendous stop. That could be a 4-point play here if Boston scores. That was a great play, Bob.
Great steal by Johnson. He made the right move to Hornacek, but Shaw stopped it. Down to Parrish, 8 to shoot. He powers it inside.
I love Robert Parrish. Man, I'll tell you what, the guy's 37 years old, and he's still a thoroughbred. You got to love his effort.
5 points in this quarter, 17 to the game. Celtics by 10. Their biggest lead was 12. McDaniel missing. Parrish rebound.
Bob, notice everything's out on the perimeter now. You're not getting anything inside, and look what Boston's getting. Everything's going to the basket.
And Boston's transition defense good that time. Hornacek, a long 3. Loose ball foul on Phoenix.
Another long jump shot by the Phoenix Suns. Jeff Hornacek with the 3. Here's the steal right here. Kevin Johnson. Now Brian Shaw doesn't hang his head. He gets back. He stops penetration. And then look at the effort to go up. He doesn't block. He doesn't foul him. And then knocks the ball loose from Rambus. Great play there by Brian Shaw.
Remember, Brian Shaw's a point guard, but he's 6'6". That's the hold.
That play right there that Boston runs is one of the best plays in basketball. It's a 2-man game. Bird and Parrish. Bird steps up, Parrish steps up to sets the screen, and then he slips it quickly and tries to go to the basket. Bird normally gets him a layup.
2 quick ones on West. He has 3 now. There's the roll to Parrish.
How about this shot? Robert Parrish. That shot would have gone in.
Celtics by 10. 5 minutes to go, third. Almost stolen by Bird. 16 on the shot clock. It belongs to Phoenix. Andrew Lang is going to get in for West, who picked up the 2 quick fouls.
Well, you can see right now Cotton is struggling to find a lineup in there of big guys that's going to work for him. The small lineup worked in the second quarter. It did not work in the third. Right now, everything is on the outside.
Illegal defense called against Boston.
Charge to number 33, Larry Bird.
That's the first illegal defense, so it's a warning and a new 24-second clock with the Celtics leading it by 10.
Bob, when you look at the lineup on the floor for Phoenix right now, Lang really not a scorer, nor is Rambus. So Kevin Johnson, Xavier McDaniel, and Hornacek are going to be the guys that are going to have to look to do the scoring to carry this team.
Johnson with the penetration, the dish to Lang. His shot was changed by Parrish. Kevin Johnson finally gets the basket. That's Phoenix's second field goal in the last 5 minutes. Boston by 8. Crowd came alive a little bit with that hoop. Bird against Rambus. Shaw. Parrish with the rebound, but first the loose ball foul against Robert Parrish. That's his first personal foul.
Now Andrew Lang is in the game for one thing, and that's to try to defend Robert Parrish. Parrish is getting out of the gate here in the third quarter after the big first quarter, so they're trying to slow Robert Parrish down. They're hoping to do that with Andrew Lang.
Parrish with 5 in this quarter. 14 rebounds in the game, by the way. Hornacek from the corner. Rebound Lewis. Bird down on the wing, and so is Gamble. Shaw with a great delivery. Gamble missed the lay-in. Hornacek from 19.
That was an excellent pass from Brian Shaw, Bob, over the top to Gamble. It would have been a spectacular play. Gamble just couldn't finish it.
Phoenix making a mini run here. Pulled to within 6 points after trailing by 10. And the foul on Hornacek. With only 6 seconds on the shot clock, he has 3 fouls. And it's time for tonight's Chevrolet scoreboard. Indiana out by 9 over Charlotte. That's in the fourth quarter. New Jersey beating Sacramento. And Atlanta out in front of the Knicks in Madison Square Garden.
I can never figure New York out. They beat the Pistons by 30, then they lose. Oh, Reggie Lewis.
And the foul. Lewis has 14 points now. Chicago leading Washington. That's in Chicago, 52-44.
Chicago has a great home schedule. I think they play their next 7 games at home, so they really should be able to make their move. Houston now up 6.
Two on Marley, by the way. That personal was on Marley.
I think it's a 2-team race now for the best record in the East, with Pistons being hurt. I think it's going to go down between Boston and Chicago.
3:20 to go, third quarter. Daniel, long jumper. He has 18 points.
Oh, look at that fadeaway shot. That was a tough shot by Reggie Lewis.
Rebound Marley to Hornacek. Crowd was ready for that jumper to stick. Rebound Rambus. McDaniel doesn't get it. Rebound Hornacek inside. Offensive domination here by Phoenix. We got a jump ball. Parrish with the block on McDaniel. And a timeout on the floor. Furious defense by Boston, but great offensive rebounding by Phoenix. 13 offensive rebounds in this game. Pinckney. That's his third.
That'll be the 5th team foul, so Kurt Rambis will shoot 2 free throws.
Kevin Johnson getting back into the basketball game for Phoenix. He'll come in for Hornacek.
Oh, they're going to call the foul a wraparound foul on Rambus. So now the free throws will be shot instead by Ed Pinckney. I thought they called the foul against Eddie Pinckney. So this is
that was the signal.
Turnaround here.
That was a clear change. Cotton not very happy about it either. Everybody thought that. Pinckney thought it. Rambus thought it. Nevertheless, it goes Boston's way.
They're going to call now Rambus wrapping around. Right there, they call him wrapped around. That was a good call. Rambus had him over the shoulder. That was a good call.
I think the call was right. The signal to the scoring table was what was wrong.
Absolutely. And you know, you're in the home crowd here, so they see you walk into the free throw line. All of a sudden, you turn back now, and Pinckney's shooting 2 free throws.
Not where you want to make that mistake. 82-73. Celtics back up by 9 now. Minute to go in the third quarter. Kevin Johnson carries the jump shot. Less than a minute to go, third. This has been a starters ball game. Only 2 players off the bench have scored. Pinckney with 3 and Marley with 19. Bird faked to 3, got it to Parrish, down to Pinckney, out of bounds. It'll belong to Boston. 4 on the shot clock.
Now you have to watch. Larry Bird is the inbounds passer. I feel he's the most deadly inbound passer in the history of basketball and out-of-bounds plays. He will find the open man, so keep your eyes peeled here on Bird finding somebody for a shot.
Good defense by Phoenix. Marley with the basket and the foul, the pass from Kevin Johnson.
Larry Bird upset, feeling Reggie Lewis was fouled there on that. But here's Dan Marley now. This is reminiscent of the second quarter where he had 3 of these opportunities, 3 3-point plays. Here's another one. Dan Marley with the bump. He finishes, and now is 4th opportunity to finish off a 3-point play. And that's not a 3-point shot. That's a 3-point play.
Marley has 21. His season high is 24. Make it 22. A bucket away from tying his season high point output. Celtics lead it by 4. Phoenix led it by 2 at the half. Time remaining in the third quarter. Lower right of your screen, 15 seconds.
Really about 0.5 of a second only separating here, so Boston should get the last shot.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Shaw inside. Good poise. Missed it. Pinckney missed the jam. Loose ball foul will be on Pinckney. That'll be 4. With 1.3 seconds in the third.
Phoenix has fought back with a 9-point deficit, and they've done it on the strength of Cotton putting his best defensive team on the floor. You have Rambus, you have Lang, and you have Marley, 3 of his better inside defenders. Now you lose the offense of Chambers and Mark West. Hornacek sits down, but your defense now being 9 down. If Lang converts these, it's a 2-point game, so defense again getting them back and doing it with a smaller lineup.
And getting them back into point production simply because of the defensive play and the break opportunities.
1.3 seconds. I have Bird, normally the inbounds passer, and look for him to try to throw the ball long to Robert Parrish. And Robert Parrish trying to beat the shot clock if he can make the catch and turn.
Lang knocks them both down. 1.3 seconds to go in the third. Pinckney. Lewis can't get the shot away. So the Suns battle back again. Boston led by 12 at one point in the first half, by 10 here in the third quarter, and now lead by 2 as we get ready for the final 12 minutes. Phoenix Suns, and that was one of the intentions they wanted to get. We've seen that a little bit. We talked about McHale not being in this lineup for Boston. How about this game as it's developed?
Well, I think that McHale not being here right now is a critical time, because when Parrish went out in the second quarter, that's when Phoenix made their move with Joe Klein in the ball game. Normally McHale's in there for his scoring. Who will score with this group that's on the floor right now? Let's keep our eye on that.
Kevin Johnson off the long Bird miss. He is fouled by Brian Shaw, and he hits the jumper. It's tied. The Suns about to take the lead.
See, normally when Robert Parrish goes down for a rest and you want offense, you keep McHale in as the offensive center, or you even double up the poison and you keep McHale and Parrish on the floor at the same time with Bird. That's one of the options you lose with McHale being out of the game. Now, all of a sudden, this is that same lineup again we talked about that had a 9-12-point lead in the second quarter. When Robert Parrish went out, he never got back into the rhythm, did not score at all in the second quarter after a big first quarter.
Klein, Pinckney, and Bird up front. Gamble and Shaw in the backcourt for Boston. 10 to shoot. Suns leading by 1. Gamble powers it in off the glass. Pinckney kept it alive. Rambis stole it. Great outlet pass. Johnson to McDaniel. That's that great Phoenix transition game. Timeout, Boston.
Gets it out, and here's Kevin Johnson on the run, and Xavier McDaniel finally with an easy basket. He's now 7 for 20 from the floor. But right now is a critical time for Boston. Are they going to be able to stay close enough to allow Chris Ford to be able to rest Robert Parrish?
There's Gamble doing what he's done so well this year. That's penetrate. Klein gets the big rebound, powers it back up, and draws the foul.
Nice offensive rebound there by Joe Klein. But, you know, Bob, if Parrish is going to finish this game strong, he needs some rest. But at the same time, you can't let the game slip away from you. So you're Chris Ford over there, and you're sort of figuring out what am I going to do and when am I going to be able to get Robert back in the game. They've got to stay within striking distance.
Marley now with his third foul. Phoenix has outscored Boston by 11 points since Marley returned to the game.
Well, I think if you probably went in the first half, it was probably almost the same situation. So if you probably took Marley's plus-minus in his ball game, probably close to 25.
Klein gets them both. It's a 1-point Suns lead with 10:49 to go. Boston has won 7 in a row, all 4 of their West Coast road games. Johnson beat Brian Shaw for the layup.
Weak side defense had their head turned. Kevin Johnson on the penetration, no one at all to step up to give help, focusing on their own man rather than the team defense.
Bird setting the pick. 10 to shoot. Excellent team defense being played by Phoenix.
See, this is where you miss McHale or Parrish to be able to drop the ball in the post to get an easy basket.
Reggie Lewis has to fire it up with only 3 on the shot clock. Phoenix by 3, a chance to build on that lead. Kevin Johnson steps back and drills it over Shaw. Johnson has 17. 13 in this half. Bird from long range, it rims out. Klein kept it alive, but we're going to get a foul on Joe Klein. And he's flirting with a technical. Robert Parrish back into the game for Boston.
Well, Chris Ford has to do it, and it's nothing against Joe Klein, but right now they're having trouble scoring. If Phoenix scores on this possession, when Robert Parrish went out of the game, they were up 2 points, and they will be down 7. That's a 9-point swing, and he's only rested less than 2.5 minutes. So that tells you how important Robert Parrish is and how much they miss Kevin McHale.
Chambers backing in over Bird. He's fouled.
Basket does not count.
Basket doesn't count.
Fouls on number
That's
33,
4
Larry
fouls on Larry Bird.
Fourth, third team foul on the Celtics.
Suns by 5, but a lot of time. 9:37 to go in the game.
One thing that you're going to have to keep your eye on also is team fouls. That's 3 team fouls for Boston, so you know we shoot on the 5th. So the quicker Phoenix gets into the penalty, the more now when they take the ball to the basket or they have loose ball fouls, you're going to step down and shoot free throws. That's always very important in the 4th quarter.
Phoenix 24 of 26 free throws in this game.
You know, Kevin Johnson really came out looking to pass the basketball. At the end of the 3rd quarter, he had 11 assists. But you can see here in the 4th quarter, he's looking to take his man off the dribble and hit the jump shot.
Certainly what you want out of the great point guard, the ability to go either way.
Absolutely.
Now Bird against Chambers. He gets inside with his left hand. Parrish, another big board. Down inside to Brian Shaw's jump hook fall.
See the presence of Parrish. He's their #1 offensive rebounder. He stems the tide with an offensive rebound. Brian Shaw with the basket.
Parrish with 15 rebounds in the game. Suns lead it by 5. 10 seconds to shoot as Shaw punches it out of bounds, and Pinckney is going to come into the game for Larry Bird.
Give Bird maybe a 2-minute rest. Now, Kevin Johnson's doing a lot of isolation right now, Bob, and it's going to be interesting to see if Boston tries to run at him and force him to give the basketball up.
Johnson beating Shaw off the dribble and is forced as Parrish comes over to help out.
Well, Kevin Johnson jumped right into the chest of Robert Parrish. He got into the lane, saw Parrish, and instead of flipping the ball to try to get the shot up over Robert Parrish, he jumped right into his chest to get the foul.
Larry Bird, we're talking about him sitting down, is tonight only 5 of 16 for 11 points. 4 fouls carrying right now.
Well, Boston has enough offense in the game right now that they can give Bird some rest. They've got Parrish who can score, Shaw, Gamble, and Reggie Lewis. Really, Ed Pinckney's the only guy out there you wouldn't consider a scorer, and he has 7 points off the bench. He will get his off the offensive boards.
Phoenix builds a 7-point lead, so there's been a 17-point turnaround since Boston led by 10, and this is Phoenix's biggest lead of the game.
Marley, a tough defender to try to take advantage of.
Lewis pulls up from about 6 feet. Johnson came over to double a little late.
Now, Reggie Lewis had some big games at Seattle, big baskets in the 4th quarter in Los Angeles, so he's been a go-to guy for them on this trip, he and Robert Parrish.
Chambers inside. Goes to the left hand. Kevin Johnson got it to him. That was a nice move down there by Chambers, who has 14 now. Gamble on that penetration, missing this time. McDaniel running, but first the foul, loose ball.
Xavier McDaniel pushed Robert Parrish in the back. Parrish had inside position.
Big foul and a big turnaround. That could be one of those 4-pointers. And Cotton knows it. Team foul situation, 4 against Celtics, 2 against Phoenix.
Going to Reggie Lewis again against Marley. Isolation.
Lewis, quick move to the hole this time.
Reggie Lewis growing up, becoming a star.
19 points. Suns by 5, 7:45 remaining. Marley from 19, he had to throw it up. There was only 1 second remaining on the shot clock, so that's a violation, and Boston takes the ball. And here's Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. With a furious run on Reggie Lewis.
This is one of the fast breaks. Kevin Johnson with a strong drive forces a defense to pick him up, and Xavier McDaniel with a strong finish. So 97-90, Mark West missed 2 free throws that could have put the Suns up by 9. And the Boston Celtics have gone cold. They tried to post up with Larry Bird. He's missed a shot. They've gone inside to Reggie Lewis. He missed a shot. And the Phoenix defense right now allowing them to get into the running game. Now Boston in a penalty, so they will shoot free throws. The Suns will shoot free throws the rest of the way.
It's a 9-point Phoenix lead. Boston with a 4-game West Coast win streak on the line. Phoenix has won 2 of their last 3 games. Reggie Lewis, big drive. He draws the foul down there.
Well, you can see right now the guy they're going to go to is Reggie Lewis. Great speed and quickness. They've isolated him 4 times now in the fourth quarter. He's got 2 good field goals. He's missed a drive, and now he's going to get to the free throw line. So Reggie Lewis coming through for them in this fourth period.
Third personal foul on Chambers. Boston only 3 of 10 this fourth quarter. That's 30% shooting from the field. Bird in this game is only 5 of 17.
Bob, you're really going to see if this ball game finishes the way it is right now and Phoenix is able to hold on and win this game. The difference has been when Robert Parrish has gone to the bench and Chris Ford has not had Kevin McHale to give them any low post game, that Phoenix has been able to take advantage of that.
Boston's put together a 7-game win streak with Bird missing some of the games and McHale missing 3.5 of the games. But sooner or later you think that's going to take its toll, and it's doing that here tonight. Suns by 7 though. We have 5:39 left. Chambers misses the 3. Big board by West. That's the biggest play of the night for Mark West. Suns by 9 points with 5.5 minutes to go. Time out Boston.
You see the Suns forwards shooting only 12 for 35. But Xavier McDaniels made some big baskets here in the fourth quarter by getting out on the transition game. Kevin Johnson has found him. Chambers also with a couple post-ups. So they have made some key baskets when they have needed them. But I think it's been the play of Dan Marley and the inspired defense of Marley that has really upped the level of his team. And also the lack of Boston being able to replace Robert Parrish when he sat down. When we look at the field goals by quarter, Bob, big first quarter, big third, and then when they've gone to their bench in second and fourth periods, it just has not been there.
Just no bench production for Boston at all. The only player off the bench who scored at all is Pinckney. Of course, normally that bench production comes from McHale. And Bird having a nightmare. 5 of 18 tonight from the floor.
He's going to keep shooting.
And he keeps missing. Parrish is back with it. He can't. Now it falls in for Parrish. He got the friendly bounce that time. Big scoring opportunity for Boston there as it's 101-94.
2 offensive rebounds by Parrish on that sequence to give him 3 opportunities before they scored.
17 rebounds for Robert Parrish in this game. 10 seconds for Phoenix to shoot. McDaniel against Bird. 5 seconds. There's the double team over Bird. Rebound Lewis.
Still plenty of time.
Gamble from 18 buries it from Brian Shaw. It's a 5-point Phoenix lead, and the Suns are going to get a timeout. By the way, that game, the Seattle and Philadelphia game, has now gone into overtime. We'll keep you abreast of what's happening there. Seattle at Philadelphia. But here, Suns lead it by 5, 4:25 to go.
Still plenty of time, Bob. The important thing right now for Boston is to stay tough on the boards and get out and get into the running game if they can, and continue to hammer on the offensive boards. Robert Parrish tonight is just giving his team second, third opportunities. And you know what? Bird's going to continue to look for that outside shot, and at the right moment, he's going to nail one of those threes, as he always does.
I was about to say, he's like that 100-yard-a-game rusher. You know, he only has 35 yards, but he may rip off the 70-yard touchdown run.
That's exactly right. Now, on the other hand, if you're Phoenix, what are you going to do? I'd like to see them getting something going to the basket. Right now, Boston has 5 team fouls, which means that Phoenix will shoot free throws. See if they isolate Kevin Johnson. Look to let him get to the basket, and if so, he might find Hornacek spotting up on the outside. He's had about 6 or 7 wide open jump shots tonight off Kevin Johnson getting in the lane and kicking back out to him.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited. And by the way, Phoenix has committed 4 team fouls, so Boston will be shooting the next time Phoenix fouls. 4:25 remaining. Phoenix leading it by 5. McDaniel, Hornacek, West, Kevin Johnson, and Chambers. Starting lineup on the floor for Phoenix, as is the Boston starting lineup of Shaw and Gamble, Reggie Lewis.
They might go to Chambers in the post. You've got Reggie Lewis on Chambers. They went to that early little 2-man game. Let's see if they try to do that Hornacek screen across and get the Chambers in the post.
Kevin Johnson. There's Hornacek trying to get the ball, but good defense. Now he's open. 8 to shoot. Johnson with the penetration over Parrish. Parrish made him miss that shot.
Be Boston, but I thought that Chambers knocked that ball out. They're going to give the ball to the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, Chris Ford is furious. He thought the same thing you did.
See if Chambers knocks this ball out right there. That's Boston's ball.
Big call with 4 minutes to go in the game. And now the make good, 5 seconds, and it goes to Boston.
I don't know if they've called a timeout or a 20 or...
Well, the official held up the 5 seconds as though it was a 5-second violation. But now Cotton is saying they got a 20-second timeout. But of course he's got to get that through the official, and they're saying that Phoenix did get the 20-second timeout. Perhaps it was called to another official. Now they're giving them a full timeout. 4 minutes and 3 seconds remaining with the score. Phoenix 101, Boston 96. 5 as Phoenix got the 20-second call before the 5-second inbound violation. Hornacek into the paint. Boston playing tenacious defense. Kevin Johnson isolated against Shaw. McDaniel 10 to shoot against Bird. Chambers from 18. Rebound Bird.
Now twice Phoenix has come down and they've got caught using a lot of clock. They've got very tentative and passive with their offense, and as a result it's hurt them. Boston did not give them a second shot. I think Phoenix is going to have to get into their offense. A little more quick hitting plays are going to let Boston set their defense up against them.
Trying to post up Bird against McDaniel. He's backing him in with 5 to shoot. Lean in with the left hand.
That was a tough shot.
Not a good offensive play, and Larry Bird is 5 for 20 tonight.
Foul call to number 35, Reggie Lewis.
Lewis with the personal. Reggie Lewis, by the way, 7 of 21.
Looked like Bird was really trying to draw the foul with that shot and got the man in the air and then sort of faded away and did not get to the free throw line. So Larry Bird that time did not have a good shot at the basket. Now the foul, and this is where it's very important to be able to get into the penalty as early as you can in the fourth quarter.
Bird and Lewis combined 12 of 41 tonight for Boston. Phoenix, by the way, in this quarter only shooting 40%. They've been getting those offensive boards. All-star numbers for Kevin Johnson. Doesn't get the fall, and that's 18 rebounds for Robert Parrish.
They're going to go to Reggie Lewis off to this little screen down against Hornacek.
There he is.
Isolate, clear it, let him take it.
Hornacek stopped the drive, and he got the shot, didn't get the goal.
That was great defense, better offense is what that was.
Suns by 4, 2:58 to go. Boston hanging tough.
Got to keep him off the free throw line, Bob.
Now there's the double team. Reggie Lewis just went right past it. 19 rebounds for Parrish. Shaw's going to take it right on in there. McDaniel fouled him. A 3-point play for Shaw.
Oh, that's a big play. Kevin Johnson misses a layup on one end. Boston with Robert Parrish and another big rebound. Gets it out to Brian Shaw. Now an opportunity for a 3-point. But here's Kevin Johnson. Misses a layup. Here's Parrish. Quick outlet. Now you've got a mismatch. Brian Shaw going against your power forward over the top of Mark West. And we now have a 1-point ball game.
Oh, the Celtics.
I still think Phoenix has got to get into something quickly. I don't think they're a great half-court team. I think they've got to get into their offense, their pattern quickly, and not use so much clock.
Remember, it was 99-90 Phoenix. It's now 102-101. Johnson with the drive. Got the foul. Couldn't get the 3-point opportunity.
Boy, again, Kevin Johnson just taking off the dribble, beating his man, and jumping into the chest of Robert Parrish. Now they've spread the floor. Boston's going to have to adjust to this. They're going to allow Kevin Johnson to use the lane, go one-on-one against Shaw. Will Boston now double team it to get the ball out of his hands? So Chris Ford now has a little bit of a dilemma what he's going to do with Kevin Johnson.
And the last time they double teamed him, Johnson took it to the hoop anyway when he missed it. Well, that's why he's an all-star point guard.
Well, he creates so many problems for you. Early in the game he was looking to pass. Now he's looking to score.
Shaw beat Kevin Johnson, and Johnson came back to steal it.
Brian Shaw got a little careless that time. Kevin Johnson was behind him. He did not realize it. He knocked the ball loose, went off the leg of Kevin Gamble. So nice play by Kevin Johnson. Here they're going to spread the floor again, Bob.
Suns by 3. Kevin Johnson trying to beat Shaw on the dribble. There he goes. Hornacek, he was fouled by Gamble.
Kevin Gamble started peeking again on Hornacek. This is what he did in the first quarter. Hornacek worked in behind him, and then Gamble fouled him.
4 on Gamble, 2:09 to go in this ball
See,
game.
Kevin Johnson's behind him. Here he comes. He knocks the ball loose. It goes through and off the legs of Kevin Gamble. See, Hornacek is a guy, Bob, you just can't leave. You're going to make one of those other guys beat you with a jump shot. Robert Perry stepped up to give help when Kevin Johnson got in the lane. Kevin Gamble got caught peeking. Hornacek worked in behind him. Kevin Johnson found him. He's the best free throw shooter in the NBA.
And West gets it back to Hornacek, who buries a jumper. Suns by 6, timeout Boston. That's the kind of play that makes you think this may be the Suns' night.
You know what I like about that? Hornacek did not pull that back out and use the clock. He had a wide open shot and he took it. They say, well, use some clock. I think if you got that kind of shot, first of all, I thought the ball was goaltended. Let's see it up on the rim here, right there.
You're right.
And then it's knocked loose. Mark West picks it up. Now you got a jump shot. Take it. That's a wide open shot. Take the shot. I think Hornacek did the smart thing. His team now up by 6 points.
Well, Jeff Hornacek has 19 points in the ball game and 3 very big ones there to give the Suns a 6-point lead. But let's remind you once again, we have 2:01 remaining in this game and only a 6-point Phoenix lead.
There's still 5 or 6 possessions in this ball game for both teams, and if that's the case, what Boston has to do is gear their defense. You see the timeout situation too for Phoenix, and a full timeout, the 22nd for Boston. But right now you've got to gear in, you've got to give no second shots up, and you got to keep Phoenix off the free throw line. Then you must come down and execute and get something good, either going to the basket or a jump shot.
And we're now seeing, for really the first time on this road trip, the impact of the absence of Kevin McHale.
We know why Cotton Fitzsimmons was smiling before the game when he knew that Kevin McHale was not going to play, because Kevin McHale is a low post guy that punishes you. You go inside to him, he creates double teams and open shots. With Kevin McHale not in the game, Phoenix has not had to double team the post. So as a result, they've been able to stay at home and not get hurt with outside jump shots.
Marley coming back into the ball game.
That's for defense, and I look for him to guard Reggie Lewis, excuse me. Reggie Lewis has been their go-to guy. They've isolated him in the fourth quarter. You see Marley against Lewis. Let's see if that's where the Celtics go in this possession.
Celtics could use Reggie Miller right
Yes, they could. There you go, the isolation, screen roll, Lewis and Bird.
Bird has to pop out. Into Parrish. How did that pass get down there? 5 seconds to shoot. Parrish on the double punt. Big bucket by the Chief.
Robert Parrish. You know, you just can't say enough about this guy.
Answers the bell. 4-point difference in this game.
Isolation again. Kevin Johnson against Brian Shaw. Must keep him in front of you.
He can't do it. And the dish. Parrish got his hands on that ball from behind. Shaw all alone.
Boy, that's a big, big play.
Oh, Parrish blocked that shot from all the way behind the Phoenix player. That's why you hear the boos. They wanted the foul on Parrish. 2-point Suns lead, minute 10 to go.
If you're Kevin Johnson, take the ball to the basket. Take it and make them foul you, because you're going to get a foul in this possession if you go strong. Parrish is the guy going to give help.
He's been beating Shaw off the dribble all night. Not this time. And the bad pass. Parrish got the prayer out to Bird.
He'll shoot a 3.
West.
You better cover. Remember that 3 I was talking about?
Not this time.
You know what? That's not a bad shot, though, because you're going to get the ball back.
Just as you say it. It's 2-on-1. The bad pass. Bird dives for the ball.
Oh, Reggie Lewis took his eye off the ball. He had a dunk. This is furious.
Like a playoff basketball game.
You know what? Larry Bird, though, I like what he did on that 3. You're going to say, why in the world did he take the 3? Because that's a shot. You go in and you got the lead, and you know you're going to get the ball back. That's a smart shot on his part. If it goes in, you're Phoenix, and you're now looking at a deficit.
Well, we saw Bird had a bad shooting game against Los Angeles in the victory the Celtics had over the Lakers, and Bird hit a big 3 late in that ball game, despite his shooting percentage.
And he's going to take it, and that's the kind of player Larry Bird is. That's why he has some championship rings.
Suns by 2, and we're talking about the value of Robert Parrish.
All right, now you're going to see penetration. Parrish is the guy giving help against Kevin Johnson. Let's watch here. Pump fake. Actually, the block was down below by Gamble. He got the block on the way up. Now look who's out ahead of the pack. Look where Robert Parrish is with Brian Shaw. Shaw finishes it off.
I still think there was a foul on Parrish there.
He did come over the back, but I think they might have ruled that the block occurred before Parrish came down on the guy's back.
I'm sure that's what they'd say.
Big jump ball here.
Kevin Johnson may get it. No, Bird, they say stole it. They'll jump it again. Bad toss. He didn't steal it.
Bob, let's talk about here. If Bird gets his tip, they want to get a shot up now within about the 7 or 8 seconds, so it ensures them 2 shots to 1.
We have 37.5 seconds to go in the game. Phoenix leading it by 2. Bird and Kevin Johnson. Remember, Bird
tip the ball back to Shaw. That's where you want it. If you can get back and get it to Shaw.
Kevin Johnson almost out-jumped it. They're going to jump it again.
You know, Kevin Johnson has to be very careful. He almost jumped into Bird. I've seen loose ball fouls called on jump balls.
You bet. Certainly you can get a violation and just give it to Boston. Kevin Johnson tipped it out of bounds. He won the jump, but that's no shot.
Well, that tip was an adventure. Now, again, you got 35 seconds. New 24-second shot clock, so you want to get a shot up here with about 29 or 30 on the clock. They're going to go to Reggie Lewis on a quick isolation.
Marley's all over Lewis, denying him the ball. Bird for a long 3, not this time. Lewis, huge rebound. He goes to the floor. Wild scramble, Phoenix ball.
Got a foul. Look at Kevin Johnson's mouth. He is bleeding profusely from his lip.
This is like a heavyweight fight.
Well, look at Kevin Johnson. He must have got his lip split with the jump ball on Bird. There's that 3 by Bird again. You tell me this guy doesn't have confidence. Boy, scramble, the loose ball. Boy, Brian Shaw had it to do over again. He should have grabbed Mark West.
Kevin Johnson, blood and all, sinks the free throw. It's a 3-point Phoenix lead with 16.8 remaining in the game. Boston with a 7-game win streak on the line. The bloodied but unbowed Kevin Johnson, who's had a whale of an all-star type performance here tonight. Missed the free throw. Parrish, 20 rebounds. It's a 3-point game. 16 seconds remaining. And let's go to Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. 3-point Phoenix lead. And the foul with 5.1. So on all those occasions that Larry Bird has driven the stake in the heart of the opponent, tonight it's gone the other way. He's not been able to hit.
He's had 2 really good opportunities. The one on the fast break with about 47 seconds to go. Another one next time down the floor. That one was a tough shot. The Bird had 2 opportunities, just couldn't get it to go. Remember now, Boston has no timeouts left. You see Bird there leaning in off 1 foot. It was a 3. It just did not go.
Marley 8 out of 8 from the line tonight. 3-point Phoenix lead. 5.1 seconds remaining. He misses on the front of the rim. It's still a 3-point game. 5.1 remaining.
Now I'm gonna tell you what. If he misses this, I foul. I do not give them a chance to shoot a 3-pointer to tie. So if he misses his free throw, look for him to take a foul.
Marley was 8 for 8.
Doesn't matter now.
Now it's 4. Shaw for 3. He doesn't get it. This game is history. Phoenix has broken the Celtics win streak, stopped it at 7. The Sun have won 3 out of their last 4, and it's been since 1988 since Boston has a victory here in the Valley of the Suns. 109-105, Phoenix. Oh, it was a playoff caliber ball game in Phoenix, Arizona here tonight. Let's go to Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. It's now 109 ball game about how Boston was able to do it at first without Bird and now without McHale. Well, that fantasy came to an end. McHale was sorely missed tonight.
They really missed him. They missed his post-up game, and what they missed was the opportunity to rest Parrish, and it forced Robert Parrish to play heavy minutes because without him on the floor tonight, Phoenix really took advantage of the fact they could take the ball to the basket. There was no shot blocker in the game, and really no post threat, no low post threat.
Another big factor about this win tonight with Phoenix is was kind of at a crisis point, as Doug talked talked about at the beginning of the ball game. They've had a little dissension among their players. Kevin Johnson and Chambers had words the other day. They had a team meeting without Cotton Fitzsimmons, and to come out here and be able to beat Boston and stop the road trick has to mean a lot to this team.
Well, I think it does, and also the fact that Chambers and Xavier McDaniel did not shoot well. Hornacek made some big baskets, but they won it with their defense, and they made some key shots down the stretch. Boston had some opportunities, though. It looked like Phoenix had the game salted away +6, and Boston had opportunities. They just couldn't do it when it was there.
Okay, well, let's take a look now down the road for these two teams. Boston continues to have the best record in the East, but first of all, let's take a look at Phoenix and what is the top 4, meaning home court advantage. They're 5th in the West, but ought to move up into that. And now here's Boston.
Well, Boston goes home. Actually, they go to Hartford to play one home game against New Jersey. Then they're on the road against Indiana and Chicago. Opponents over 500. You see 12 out of the remaining road games, and 5 of the plus 500 teams are at home, 7 on the road. So they have 7 tough road games they have to play now.
Now let's talk a little bit, 2 things quickly. Larry Bird is the man who does hit the big shot. I do like the size of his heart. He was shooting badly tonight, and yet he still took the big threes toward the end of the ball game.
Well, you know, you want the ball in the hands of your best player. Look to take the shot. It did not go tonight, but you know, a lot of those have, and a lot of them will in the future too.
Phoenix gets the win, 109-105, and our player of the game is Dan Marley. Marley came into this ball game off the bench and literally turned it around.
Well, his hustle and his defense, loose balls, opportunities around the basket, 19 first half points, and then defensive stretches in the second half when they put him on Reggie Lewis to try to take away his drives.
Be sure to stay with TNT as NBA action continues. The LA Lakers take on the Atlanta Hawks on Friday night in Atlanta. For Doug Collins, this is Bob Neal saying good night from Phoenix.